Welcome everyone to Pine Grove News Live. 6 o'clock, right on the dot. And just let me check the buttons and the turn dial. We'll see if everything's up and running. Go to PGN Live. And it's up and running. Yeah, so I don't know, it's cloudy. I feel a little drained. You know, sun isn't out. I just don't have energy. Maybe that's what all these chemtrails are for. What do you think? They have so many purposes, don't they? Well, I know I told you I was not going to bother with Dorian anymore, but just briefly, I'm going to touch on a couple things. Especially, the damage in the Bahamas. Wow. As of, I guess, when I started this thing today, what was it, 4 or 5 o'clock, the update was 30 dead and thousands missing and looters, and I guess the militia was called up. It's just terrible. I'm just going to show some pictures of the damage. And, some of it just reminds me of Fukushima after the tsunami swept over Fukushima there in Japan. It's just terrible. Someone was talking, they have 20 feet of water in some areas. This thing was steered up and over and into the Bahamas. There is at least 2 people that I got here on video that will show you that some type of directional weapon was used to stop the hurricane in its tracks, 0 miles per hour. Well, actually, it slowed it down. Remember, it was going 1 for a day. When a whole 10 miles in one day, though, mainstream media showed it like moving hundreds of miles, or at least 100 miles. Yeah, they really, they're all scripted. They showed you what they wanted you to see. And we also got points where others have shown where these Doppler radars, just glowed when Dorian was off the coast, especially in the Carolinas. And we got news from the Carolinas too. They've had at least 1 tornado in 1 spot. Never Lose Truth, who I will be, pointing out a couple things in her video. She lives there. I don't know whether it's South Carolina, North Carolina, but listening to her this morning, put out her weather updates and other things. Kind of hard to listen to her. She's a tough one. Yeah. And what do you think about? Really, seriously, what do you think about these illegals getting driver's licenses? Well, at least in California, right? How can you give someone who comes into this country illegally, which means that they've broken the law, and then go give them a driver's license? In what country are we living in? It's definitely a lawless country, at least in California with the demon rats there. Just remember, this state that I live in, unfortunately, is a demon rat state too. It's pretty bad. Both of them, California and Connecticut, one of the top 2, I believe, for richest people that live here. Also, let's see, anyways, the laws that Californians are coming up with, it's kind of scary in the sense because Connecticut normally follows right after California. When they start making some stupid laws that none of the ones who are making the laws will follow or have to follow, really, just follow. I mean, I listen to World Watchman every day about these new laws that are out there on the books. Some of them are just crazy. I mean, I could just go there and get the last two ending stories from now on, just about their laws that they make. You know that Camila, I guess her name is Camila Harris, you know, the one that talked for 20 minutes in the debates about a plastic straw or paper straw, about a straw. A straw. We have so many more things that, I mean, how does that even come on the darn list, really? Straws? It's like the plastic bag industry here that they just passed a month or so ago. These very cheap bags that you normally get at your normal, you know, your local grocer. You know, when they say plastic or paper, it used to be plastic or paper. Now it was just, you know, for years, plastic. You just put it all in plastic. And now because, you know, we're complaining about our taxes being, you know, going up and up every year, now they just break everything down and charge you, you know, taxes on that. 10 cents for these bags. You're lucky if you get that bag home without it ripping and splitting in two. 10 cents. It's not like the bottle return. You're not getting anything back. You actually have to buy these cheap plastic bags in order to get your food home. Or you got to go out and buy, you know, some other bags. One of the most ridiculous, stupid laws I've ever heard of, besides the plastic straw one. I mean, California, you know, you want to know where their mind is, just go look at their, you know, laws that they've passed the past few years. It's utterly ridiculous. So anyway, yeah, illegals, give them licenses. The only reason is the Democrats are fighting like demons to keep that wall from being built or get in a system there that they agreed to years ago to stop these illegals from coming in, so we do know who we're letting in, you know, but that's not what it's about. It's about getting these illegals in, promising them that they're going to be taken care of by the other taxpayers. They're going to get free everything. While people like you and me go about their blue collar life struggling check by check, and some people can't even get that. And we've been here all our lives. This is a travesty, and it's a broken system, at least the way it is. And you know why? Because you voted him in. I don't vote. I refuse to vote on thieves, robbers, murderers. Let's vote the right people in. I'll go vote for the right person. Let's go get these people out. This AOC, this, you know, squat squad, whatever, the 4 or 5 freshman Democrats over there, AOC and Imar Omar, you know, she should be arrested. Lied to come over here, married her brother. I mean, so much for her religion and her ethics, right? An AOC, you know, a bartender. You know, now has got this Green New Deal that everybody, you know, it's ridiculous. There's no way it's going to pass, but obviously it's just a smokescreen for something else. AOC, your local bartender, now telling you that you're going to have to give up your gas. You can't. You got to give up your car. You got to give up the oil. You got to plug everything into an electric grid that's failing. You got to have solar panels on all the new roofs. Yeah. And you got to start taking trains. I wonder what they're going to be run on. Anyways, let her. Yeah, the big joke was, let's see how far she'll get on a train to Hawaii. Anyways, it's just I'm you know, I'm at that point where it's just ridiculous, people. I know the Lord has given many a strong delusion. Yeah, Their dreams will come true, and then they'll perish. Well, in the meantime, we have to live through their lunacy, the insanity of it all. It's just crazy. You know, whatever, for whatever it's worth. In the meantime, we're being attacked by our own government. The food system, the food chain in America is being slowly taken over by the government because of all the devastation and all the other agendas that these people have put out there for us. Jade Helm, Agenda 20, Agenda 2030, whatever. I mean, and why are they all saying that it's going to end in 10 years or 11 years? Of course, it started out being 12 with AOC, but we've already gone through 1 year. So now I guess it's 11 years. And they're not the only ones that are saying it. So what is going on in 11 years? Well, heck, let's try getting through today. Let's pray to the Lord that he finds us worthy to go through our trials and tribulations and make it another day so that we can become better. We're supposed to be washing our robes clean. It's hard when these things, this dark world is pressing down on us. So please pray for each other. Pray to lift each other up. You just got to do it. Just makes sense. You wonder why the Bible says that you need to pray, extensively. Well, it uses another word, but you know what I mean. Yeah, in the meantime, the whole world is being flooded with some agenda. And I've talked about the agenda. The skies are being sprayed, and everyone's thinking that they're spraying all this stuff to cover the sun, but it's actually warming everything up. You don't think that these aluminum particles in the sky and whatever nanoparticles or whatever that technology is, you don't think metal particulates are not going to get warmed up in the atmosphere? You don't think that stuff with the barium? Oh, and I had a list somewhere, and I'm sorry I brought it up right now because I do not know where it is. If somebody's got a list out there, and I might have put it in a file. I will find it. It's a list of everything that they put in those chemtrails. Yeah, and I do not know, I apologize, where that is right now. Any case. Let's start the news. I don't want to just rant and rave for the next hour because it will get heated. I think I'm entitled to have some type of righteous anger. Righteous? Do I think that it's righteous? Yeah, I've been given a moral latitude. We're all given a moral latitude. It's what we do with it after that. Some reject it, some deny it, and some don't want anything to do with it. They don't want morals. That means they're going to have to follow rules. They're going to have to be nice. They want to do things the way they want to do it and how they want to do it with no repercussions whatsoever. That's the satanic mindset. Now, if you have any kind of moral compass, these things will definitely bother you because they're wrong. And you know what right is. And that's all I'm saying is that I do know right from wrong. I can feel it in my spirit, in my soul, when things are right and when things are wrong. Everyone is given that when they're born. It's how it's developed afterwards. And your parents have a lot to do with it. In any case. And I'm not saying that I'm righteous and, stick my nose up in the air and all that stuff. I'm not one of those stiff-necked people. I'll definitely call something wrong, and right. I'm not going to call it well, gray line and say, well, okay, that may be true. And no, it's either yes or no. He said yay or nay. So let's let's follow him. We have an example in the Bible of how to get through life and the circumstances and what to do. He gave you two simple, easy to follow instructions. He said to love everyone. He said to love your neighbor as yourself. I know a lot of people love themselves. I'm sorry, I do not. I've just never been that type of person who's going to go around saying, "Yeah, I look real good, don't you think so? I think so." Stuff like that, and I can do this much better than anybody. I grew up with some of that. It's just well, here are pictures of Bahamas. Here are the pictures. Okay, so Hurricane Dorian death toll could be staggering in the Bahamas, with thousands still missing as bodies pile up and militias are formed to stop the looting. Just look at the pictures. We don't have to read anything. Look at the pictures. You tell me that that's not almost complete devastation. I believe, yeah, right down here, 70,000 people live there in that little island. I thought it would be more, but 70,000, that's it. Thousands are still missing. Let's see. Yeah, Hurricane Dorian strikes North Carolina with 90-mile-per-hour winds. And I'm not going to debate that because there's too many people that follow this hurricane from its inception, from its beginning. I did not. I didn't follow it until it became a hurricane. And it's not to say that it wasn't a fake hurricane. It was probably most definitely a tropical storm of some type. And then it was manipulated after that. I mean, you could see how this hurricane was stopped, literally stopped in its tracks. And all kinds of people coming out now saying, oh, yeah, 0 miles per hour, Dorian. I mean, how is that possible? I mean, where were they last year when two of them stopped off the same coast of Florida? Two of them last year. How come nobody's mentioning that? I just don't get some of this. All of a sudden, it's a new thing that this thing stopped. No, it's not new. Maybe somebody's waking up for the first time, and I hope that's true. They're finally realizing, yeah, okay, that is not normal. Hurricanes do not stop. 2 times last year and 1 so far this year. Never before. To my recollection, anyway. Even the worst hurricanes on record do not stop. Are you kidding me? It's a spinning spiral of water vapor and winds. How could it possibly stop? You got jet streams, you got air, airflow, currents, whatever. So, anyways, North Carolina hit with 90-mile winds. I don't know which one of the Carolinas, but one of them got hit with a tornado. Okay, right here. Let's go right here. Tornado hits Carolinas as Hurricane Dorian. Okay, Charleston. 200K without power. Okay. I'm going to show you some videos here, and I hope whoever's in Mixler. Well, I'll apologize now if you can't go to the YouTube channel and see this, but you will see it in the recorded video. So I just want to apologize ahead of time because people in Mixler cannot see these pictures. And I'm just going to point down to this, and I'm only going to play it for a couple seconds, but this, whatever down here goes out and extends and kind of manipulates the swirling hurricane, just for a couple seconds.
And are literally going right towards it, okay? So that's pretty interesting. And also, I had some, this is actually from Mike Morales' channel here.
All right. Trying to get it stopped on that line, but you know what I'm talking about. Let's see if I can stop it.
From Mike Morales' channel here.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me stop. But anyway, you saw that line. I mean, where's that coming from? What is that? Let's see. This other one from Never Lose Truth. She shows in here somewhere. I mean, these Doppler radar stations. I mean, let's go back to the beginning of this one, of Never Lose Truth. And I want to show you that. This is supposedly all the Doppler radars all along the East Coast and getting towards the middle of our country that seem to light up. Now that this hurricane's there. What are they doing? You remember one of her videos, I mean, the guy telling the weather who's actually pointing out, because somebody points out, what are these blue glows of light and these little black dots in the middle of them? What is that? He says that these Doppler radars are picking up insects and swarms of birds, swarms of bugs, and that's what it is. Are you freaking serious? Are you guys really going to fall for this? Really? But anyways, right off the coast of the Carolinas, and you can see other manipulation. Well, let's go. I want to show you some more photos. Let's see if I can make this bigger so you can see it. All right, let's play it.
Was one of thousands of desperate people seeking help in Dorian's aftermath. With winds of 185 miles per hour, the hurricane obliterated houses on the Bahamas, Abaco, and Grand Bahama Islands, home to 70,000 people. The official death toll from the government stood at 20 and was certain to climb. I mean, look at this. This is something you just do not see every day.
Yeah.
That literally looks like a wood recycling plant. And that, of course, is a container right there. That's the only thing that's not bent and turned into a mush of, wood and debris. It's really, really bad. It has been reported for more than 50. Still hoping that this thing does not pick up. These things can gain.
I'm looking for
destroyed as
many
as
more pictures.
13,000 homes during its path of destruction through the Bahamas.
Yeah.
This, of course, was before. Wait a second. Yeah, that has to be before. Okay, so actually, some of these boats. See, I don't know if that's done purposely to kind of, and all of those boats that were in the water ended up on the shore. And
this is an airport.
Wow, this is a field. This is
an airport. Here's the tower.
District 7
underwater.
PADE group. Wow. After.
Let's see.
The after was before it. They flipped them around. They're doing after and then before. So the airport was.
Oh my gosh, this is the airport? I thought this was like farmland, the runway.
All right.
Crazy.
Show you before and after.
And actually, we showed this exact picture the other night, and it was just nuts.
All right. So, anyways, thought there were better pictures than that, but there's not. So, the travesty of that. I mean, why was Puerto Rico was devastated. And if you go with this first video here that I'm going to leave for you, I think it's from God Rules. Yeah, God Rules. He where he talks about this, and he talks about the lines coming off Florida into the storm. But he also talks about the path that Dorian took. I mean, we all heard that, Dorian was headed towards Puerto Rico again. And then it literally went north, jogged up and over to miss Puerto Rico. Are you serious? I mean, that happens in nature. Oh, I forgot Mother Nature. Yeah, Mother Nature says, yeah, I already got that island, so I'll just hop up over. We'll go around them and we'll hit the yellow one. I mean, is there literally an attack on these islands? I mean, they're not U.S. owned. It's a UK. The UK owns this, the Bahamas anyway. I don't think Puerto Rico. I mean, I think they wanted to become a state or something, but that has not happened. In any case, yeah, and then just come up and stop over the Bahamas for 30 hours. 30 hours. What do you think that'll do? Obviously, you see what it's done in what 30 hours of a supposed Cat 4, Cat 5. 185-mile winds, really? Well, we were looking for those winds. They weren't coming from the storm anyway. I mean, maybe there was some kind of straight line winds that were being created, maybe some kind of frequency, maybe some kind of HARP program, that causes straight line winds. I mean, we hear about it all the time. Now, never heard about this stuff when I was growing up, straight line winds. You get a hurricane and, it comes with its winds. It doesn't. Anyways, we've followed the winds, many different sites, many different programs. And like I said, it only reached category 1 gust and sustained winds. I think it was like 80, 85. Anyway, now that it's, they've got it. Let's see if I got that up here. No, I don't. I was going to look at AccuWeather to find out where it is right now, but it is off the coast of Carolina still, and it is moving away. We just go there ever so quickly to AccuWeather that I normally go to. Only it's a little different on this laptop. Still loading. Okay. Sorry. So anyways, this is what we got going. There is Dorian, and I don't know if you guys have been paying attention this whole week. I mean, I got a stack of papers that I got to go through and go put on this chart. The things that went on this past week, the amount of storms that have been in the tropics is, there was like 3 in the Atlantic, 3 in the West Pacific, 2 or 3 in the East Pacific, and I believe even around India. I think I saw some news about India being flooded again. Anyways, let's go click on this and find out exactly where Dorien is. Okay. There she is, right there. Here we are, right here. Well, they're calling for 72 degrees tomorrow and sunny here, so going to miss us. It's still a Cat 1. Okay, done with that. I apologize for that because I said that I wasn't going to do any more Dorien news, but I'm trying to let you understand what's going on. And I wanted you to see the devastation caused by 30 hours of these so-called 185-mile-per-hour winds. What does anybody get from destroying 70,000 people on an island? What do they get from that? I don't know what they get. I know that there's a big deal about who gets what land. I mean, that's been going on since the revolution. Supposedly that was, we didn't really win that war, supposedly. We just made it seem that way, and that we, still are ruled by the Queen and pay her tribute. Yeah. That's another story. I mean, it's not a story, it's a fact. Yeah, it's all about land. That's what they say in the movie. What's that called? The Patriot? Mel Gibson, that movie. Remember that one? One of the generals on the redcoats, the British side said, yeah, it's all going to be about land. And that one officer chose Ohio. I believe one of these two are Ohio. Might be this one. This one. Where I was born. Dayton, Ohio. Yeah. Okay, so we're done with that one, done with that one. Let's go over to briefly some other brief weather reports from the watchers. 42 people killed and 5,497 homes. 42 people killed, 5,500 homes destroyed as floods batter Niger, West Africa. Yeah, so, where are these storms not happening? Also from the watchers. Severe hailstorms hit Alicante, causing huge agricultural damage. Agricultural damage in Spain. Where we hear now, at least once or twice a week now, where our agriculture, our food chain is being damaged or destroyed, or that it's so much underwater that they can't grow anything. Even if it wasn't underwater, the ground would be contaminated. So, weather wars, or just a war on the residents of America, but this is happening worldwide. Is it just a war on the deplorables? They want control of the food chain. They want control of the food to control you and I. Simple. And there was I don't have the headlines, but I believe yesterday people were talking about more Walmarts closing right in the some areas of where flooding was taking place. That yeah, what was it? Was it Houston? It was Houston, where this one guy was sitting outside the dome or some center where everyone was supposed to be going to get help, and he actually said, "I'm not going in there because they're killing people." Yeah, that's a big thing. You're not going to let that one go now. Then he started taking people away in trucks. You get these box trucks with the door that closes on the back. I mean, you saw people being taken away and people talking about bringing them to a Walmart. So is that starting to happen now? Or is it continuing to happen? Where are all these people going? I know they got still a lot of people homeless, but is that accounting for them all? They still don't know the real numbers. They still don't know the real numbers in paradise. It's in the thousands. Where are they all gone? Apocalyptic. Everyone's talking about this one too. This roll cloud spanning hundreds of miles. Hundreds of miles. It sparks a mass panic on this beach. Got the headline here and the headlines over there at Marfugel, the one I had up there earlier. Yeah, well, let's see if I don't got the video. Well, actually, there is no video, but there's a better picture of it. Let's see if I can get a better picture of it by going on the continue button, going to the Daily Star, which is another UK paper. Okay, remember Daily Mail. What was the other one? This Daily Star. There's one or two more. There are UK papers, and I told you about them. Now here's a good picture of this roll cloud. Now imagine this roll cloud Not too high up. It seems like it's coming right up onto you. It wasn't very high up. It was low. That would, I'd probably bite my lip a little bit. What's going on? Is this the Lord coming? He wouldn't come like this, though. You'd see maybe some fire and some brimstone maybe in the clouds rolling around, and he'd come in a lot more glory. No, this is just dark and dismal. This is not the coming of the Lord. So, anyways, good picture here. Yeah, people were panicked. People are going to be easily panicked, especially if they don't know the truth. Yeah. So, there you go. There's another picture. Awesome photos. Okay, so let's move on. Go a little quicker here. Trump is reportedly planning a farm trip to feed British journalists chlorinated chicken. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but our chicken goes through a process of chlorine cleaning, they call it. The chlorine, they use that because they know that it will kill any bacteria. Yeah. And we don't import UK chicken for that reason, because they're not chlorinated. So Trump is planning some stupid farm trip. He's actually asking people, going to pay him $75,000, I don't know, something like that, to prepare these chickens for these UK British journalists. And other than that, this is some crazy stuff Trump is getting into. Some things that he's starting to say, he's not catching himself. He's always been boastful, but yeah, we don't import, non-chlorinated. I've heard of this before, and I don't know why it still bothers me. And I still eat chicken. I don't taste the chlorine, but well, hell, no, it's not chlorine. I'm just thinking about prepping. With water, if you put it in a container, what they tell you to use a cap full of to disinfect the water is bleach. Unscented bleach, 1 capful in a gallon jug, will kill the bacteria in there. No. It's not chlorine that goes in the water, it's the bleach. But anyway, chlorinated chicken our president's going to serve up. Harvard doctors warn vaping-linked disease is becoming an epidemic. I got to remember to post this stuff to my grandson. This is just coming up big time, a lot. It's coming to the surface a lot. And we got the 3rd and the 4th people killed. Vaping has killed 4 people and left 450 sick because of a deadly new lung disease. Health crisis linked to e-cigarettes has now spread to 33 states, and the CDC has urged all people to stop the habit. I actually tried to go over to do this e-cigarette stuff, and something just seemed wrong about it. You're filling your lungs with this water vapor. People get pneumonia. That's what that is. Water in your lungs. You can drown on that. So I stopped the vaping, or not the vape, I never vaped, but the e-cigarettes. It just seemed unnatural, the amount of vapor that you saw come out of somebody after they inhaled some of these things, especially the vaping. It's all just bad. All of it's bad. I grew up in a society where smoking was good. Everyone smoked. The Marlboro Man came on TV. The tough cowboy. Yeah, he smoked, so we all should smoke. Yeah, he died of lung cancer. Yeah, doesn't mean that somebody else will because they're smoking cigarettes. Depends on who you are. not everybody's going to die from lung cancer because of cigarettes. But you don't. You're not supposed to put that stuff in you because your body is God's temple. It's a temple. We're supposed to keep it and maintain it, health-wise, as healthy as we can. I mean, we can't really do it anymore because the government's messing that all up, but, you can not do it willingly. I mean, I still got to give up doing what I'm doing. I've been doing it for over 40 years. And I'm surprised I'm not dead yet. Obviously, he's got a plan. When that's done, I'll go. But anyway, so, yeah, man, there's the third. U.S. Health Officials Report third. And just whatever. Then we got this. End time headlines. Mysterious noxious odor. Keeping people awake in Maryland. In a Maryland town, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's just strange. People are talking about it. The town of Cheverly in Prince George's County, population almost 6,200, has a new strange odor that's been so strong at times that it awakes some sleeping residents. And town officials say they're trying to figure out what it is. So officials said in a statement on the town's website that some of the odors also cause residents to gag and experience a burning feeling in the back of their throat. In the posting that went up Wednesday, they said the reports of the smell started Tuesday evening, but it's not clear where the stench is coming from. So officials said they reported the conditions to the State Department of the Environmental and also reached out to the local fire department, Washington Gas, the Washington Suburban Sanitary Commission, and PEPCO. So our conversations have been stressed that residents have been experiencing noxious odors sufficient to wake them up out of sleep, town officials said. Mayor Lila Riazi said Thursday that she didn't want to commit further because we're looking into things. Till we figure out where the odor is emanating and from what, we can't make any comments. So that's it for now, folks. Strange odor that they don't know where it's coming from, don't know what it is. I mean, people can take air samples, right? So we'll give you an update soon as we find out what the heck this is. I mean, the ground is moving around a lot, people. There's new fissures opening up all the time, new sinkholes, appearing. This planet is rocking to and fro, back and forth. It's going to, you're going to hear creaking and moaning, and you're going to open up pockets of gas or other pockets that haven't been open for years. New volcanoes popping up all the time, and I just still can't get over why we're all still breathing. With all these volcanoes that have gone off and are still going, and others popping up all the time, why there is not any more than, I don't know, no warnings for airliners at particular levels. I mean, where's all this ash going to? Where's it all going to? When one in the year 15, or was it 1815, blocked out the sun for a year? How can all these volcanoes go off and we can still breathe the air? I'll tell you, I know why. God permits it. If that's not divine intervention, I mean, you tell me. One volcano can go off, and I'm sure it was pretty big. I mean, we have super volcanoes, that could go off, could block out the sun for a while. Yellowstone, you're talking about, Tomasi, North Pacific. You got one off the coast of Oregon. You got one in the Gulf of Mexico. You even have one in the mid-Atlantic. It's divine intervention. He's not ready to put it to an end yet, but he will cut it short in his time. Right? His time. I just wanted to show you this page, this RSS feed that I get. This is from Watchers. It's just all the listing of all the hurricanes that have been and storms that have been going on this past week. Tropical storm Faxi, Hurricane Dorien, we don't know about her. Tropical cyclone Keiki strikes Vietnam. Of course, we got a volcano report down here. Sometimes I read to you. 21 volcanoes. Ongoing activity. 21 volcanoes. Tell me that's not divine intervention. What is going on here? And I think I mentioned this in the last video on Wednesday. I mentioned it, but I didn't have it. But here's the link. Trump looks at a social credit score for gun owners. Social credit score. How the heck are they going to get that? Well, you all know, because they got cameras everywhere. They're just better at hiding them. In your TVs, in your phones, in your refrigerators, your stoves, your dishwashers, all your 4K stuff. Yeah, they can see everything. They've been able to see through your TV since the 70s. I read an article when I was young, very curious when I was young. And there was a book that was printed out, and that was one of the things that was included in there. The government was able to look through your TV, or government, or whoever was in control of it, in the 70s. Yeah. I didn't hear about it in the 80s. But Joe Biden, you must have heard about this one. This is from News Punch. Heard about him during the debates? You can see it right there. Yeah, during the debates, his eyes, or one eye right there, you see it, fills with blood during the CNN town hall meeting. Apparently, some kind of, I don't know exactly what you call it. What do they call it down here? So, I don't know, it's not an aneurysm. I mean, that's a stroke, right? When you get something in your head, is that an aneurysm or is that a stroke or is it both? Not sure, but definitely a blood vessel. I think it's a blood vessel. It just popped. So, I'm sorry, I should have warned you that, you know, you're going to see blood in somebody's eye. But anyways, yeah, I don't know, you can make up your own mind. Use your own discernment with that one for everything. I mean, he's running for president. I don't think he has any chance at all. But anyway, this is from the Free Thought Project. This is an update. This is part way there to those papers that I told you that were going to be coming out. They were supposed to be out, what, last Wednesday? That study on the World Trade Center number 7 building that went down. They're supposed to have this report coming out. This 4-year-long study that has been released on the World Trade Center, which concluded that there is no way office fires brought down a this building, especially at a free fall speed. Fire did not bring down Tower 7 on 9/11. We got that anniversary coming up in 5 days. I'd keep your head on a swivel for that one. So anyways, somewhere in here, you might be able to get at least part of a draft. Got a little link down here, releasing a draft report. But in any case, despite calls for evidence to be preserved, New York City officials had the building's debris removed and destroyed. Yeah, that's what happened in 9/11. They took all that material, shipped it over to Japan, I believe. Well, the building's debris removed and destroyed in the ensuing weeks and months, preventing a proper forensic investigation from ever taking place. When have you ever seen material come, being loaded onto trucks and covered, being shipped off, and you have no idea where the stuff is? I don't think that's ever been done in history. Maybe if you had some, nuclear plant that collapsed and they're still having a problem over there in Fukushima. Got that little article that you can link to. All that stuff they got in bins and stuff like that in Fukushima, it's all deteriorating. If you've ever seen that drone footage of that, all that stuff, the radiation, the water is just leaking through all those containers. That's going to be just flowing there on the beaches of Fukushima. So anyways, I'll leave you the link. I haven't really got into reading about this. I wanted to kind of read it a little later, undisturbed. But I will leave it for you. Monumental university study finds fire did not bring down Tower 7. Chinese pastor, this is from End Time Headlines as well. Chinese pastor shared his Christian faith with 1,000 North Koreans before his execution. He was certainly blessed. He got to preach to 1,000 North Koreans, and then he went home to paradise. So this pastor on the China-North Korea border shared his faith with at least 1,000 North Koreans in the Hermit Kingdom before he was assassinated in 2016. I didn't realize it was 3 years ago. So this defector claims Reverend Hang Chung Ryol, a Chinese pastor of Korean descent who ministered on the border town of Shanghai since the early 1990s. Reportedly on Pyongyang's most wanted list as early as 2003 for his faith-based charitable work. Han fed and sheltered thousands of North Koreans over the years, many of whom have fled the famine-stricken country in search of food and jobs. Well, brother's finally home. Let's see what I got. Oh, I did have AccuWeather here. And this is just a feed. Okay, we can get rid of that. This is from Natural News. Oceans have become toxic to humans, rendering beachgoers unable to breathe. I mean, I know the beaches there have been contaminated. Others have had this stuff wash up. I mean, even, years after Fukushima. They don't tell you about the dead bodies that may have showed up. You don't hear about that, just about the, floating debris. And this is in England anyway. People headed to their local beaches in droves to enjoy the bank holiday weekend. Enjoy the bank holiday. Last time I was told about a bank holiday, if you hear about a bank holiday, especially on a Friday, you better hurry up and go get your money out. I'm serious. This was a warning given, at least a year ago, when in Greece they were taking money out of the people's banks, especially the retirement funds. They tried to do it here in America already. Going after somebody's retirement funds. Yeah, they declare a bank holiday. You better go get your money. I certainly will be. I don't know if it'll be any good when the weekend is over. So anyways, back to the story. So this weekend, August 20th, and say goodbye to summer in unusual 92-degree heat. Many of them ended up seeing firsthand just how dangerous ocean pollution can be. Around 150 people got sick after going to the beaches along the country's Essex coast, with 14 ended up in the hospital. The beaches affected were Walton on the Naze, Clacton, and Frinton on the Sea. According to the Met Office, it was the hottest August bank holiday weekend ever. And the record-breaking temperatures inspired hundreds of families to pass their day at the beach. Well, I guess banking a holiday means something different over there. So beach goers experienced symptoms such as trouble breathing, burning eyes and noses, coughing, and vomiting. With the first reports rolling in around 2 in the afternoon, one woman said her twin daughters were left gasping for breath, reporting that breathing in was painful. One of them couldn't even speak. Moving further away from the beach seemed to lessen their symptoms somewhat, but they sought medical attention nonetheless. And countless children were seen coughing as they emerged from the water. Great. And beach patrons came to tape off some of the areas. Emergency crews and ambulances rushed to the seafront area to assist those who were affected. Although no one has gotten sick since the initial outbreak, beachgoers have been advised to avoid the water as the investigation into the cause of the illness continues. Some of the beachgoers have stated that they saw a haze in the air and recalled smelling fumes. Oh, great. Well, we should check on those people in Maryland, or some town in Maryland. Very interesting. Yeah, things moving around. There will be weird smells. I just remember they empty a lot of their nuclear waste. Over there in the UK and Italy and in that area, they actually have, I don't know what, 8, maybe 12-inch round tubes. And they just dump their nuclear waste right into the oceans there. Anyway, enough talk about boiling oceans. It's not in the Bible, or at least I haven't been able to find it yet. And I asked a sister of mine if she could find it, if she knew of a place in there, because she's been studying the Bible way more than I ever have, whether she heard about that. And no, she has not. I don't know where I got it from, but I'm glad that that was corrected. Yeah, and another one from Natural News, Project Scope. Capital SC, small o, capital PE, small x, ScopeX. Bill Gates pursuing a plan to carry out planetary genocide under the guise of halting climate change. Yeah, they just are using this climate change, this global warming, climate chaos, whatever it is, they're going to use it for their own benefit, of course. Bill Gates, I mean, I don't know, man. He's just, I guess, has just been taken over. Anyway, so ScopeX is an acronym for Stratospheric Controlled Perturbation Experiment. Perturbation. I don't know what that means. Stratospheric Controlled Perturbation Experiment. And it's the name of a new Bill Gates-funded global genocide experiment designed to eliminate most living humans by collapsing the biosphere. Why do these people still get to even walk around? These mad people who know that money is not going to make them happy. It's now, on whatever, they've been just taken over. They've let themselves open up doors, and they've been taken over. And what else does that lying, deceiving creature do? Kills, steals, and destroys. And don't be surprised. You keep hearing this stuff. These people are mad. They're insane. This is the insanity. Anyway, which is being masterminded by mad scientists. Look, I didn't even read that far yet. They are mad scientists at Harvard. Falls right in the line with the genocidal dreams of communist Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders, who recently announced his endorsement for expanding mass abortions across third world nations. That's true. He came out and did that in order to achieve accelerated depopulation of brown and black people. Oh, man. Gonna set me off in a direction again, man. Yeah, mass abortions, depopulation. Folks, anything that we do to this biosphere, to this ecosystem, is quickly remedied by itself. God does not build something that us puny little humans are able to destroy. Yes, he says in the Bible that God will do something with those who are ruining the earth. They don't ruin it. It doesn't say that they've ruined it. Is that they're trying to ruin it. Anyways, all I can say is we're just not that big. I know a lot of these people think that they are. We have plenty of room on this planet. I know 2/3 of it are covered with water, but we can do something about that too. It doesn't matter. There is so much space. You got, all these deserts that can be fixed if these people put their minds to it instead of trying to depopulate the deplorables that they don't want around anymore, now that they've taken all their money. There is no population explosion to the point where we can't feed ourselves. We can feed ourselves if we put our minds to it, if we stop letting these people these principalities and powers that be, that's who we got to stop. That's who we got to pray against. Okay? They're not going to be able to destroy it. I know the Lord says if it wasn't for him cutting everything short, that everyone would be dead. That doesn't have anything to do with the population explosion. That doesn't mean that we have to do something about that, start killing people in order to make room for the rest of us. No. I don't know how many times you can chemtrail the sky. Eventually, it's going to move away. The Earth's going to clean it up somehow. Where's all the nuclear waste and radiation from all the bombs that we lost since 1947? Where did it all go? The Earth takes care of itself, even though we don't. We used to. That was Adam's job. Take care of it. Anyways, there's nothing we can do that could ruin the earth. We can kill each other off until there's nobody left. And that's what Jesus is talking about, I believe. There's no way that we can kill it. God created it. And when he said he created it, when he made it, he said it was good. He didn't say it was going to be chaotic because the humans are making it chaotic or the devil's going to, flip it upside down. No, he said it was good. And there ain't nobody good but him. Ain't nothing good about anything except what he creates is good, because he's good. Nobody else is good. I kind of took exception to that when I first heard it, because I thought I was somewhat of a good man. But, can't be good all the time. You're just not good. Flawed is what I am. I'm not evil. I'm not, mad scientist. I'm, flawed. And now I'm learning the way to fix all that. Anyway. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Scope X. Okay, so this I believe this is the last article. Maybe something else. Japan warns that it could dump radioactive water from Fukushima into the Pacific Ocean, sparking serious safety concerns. Yeah, why not? They've already got boiling coast waters. That's when I realized that, I did not see boiling oceans in the Bible. I saw that the oceans were not going to be there in the millennia because there's no need for them, I guess. There's plenty of room on this planet. Even with all the people that were ever born, I don't know where I've heard it, but I've heard it. I'm just repeating it. And I believe it. All the people that were ever on this planet, you put them all together with us right now, and there'd still be plenty of room. All right, folks, I got to end abruptly. So, God bless you all. Have a great weekend. I'm going to try and do something like I always do, but we'll see. Peace out, everyone.